Alright guys, so in this video we will be doing the hack the box bashed and the IP address is 10.10.10.68. So for the time saving I have already done the nmap scan, and you can see here a normal service scan of all the ports or 65535 ports, and you can see some are filtered and only one port is open, that is port 80, and it's running the Apache web server. Okay, now let's copy the IP address and go to that website to see any information. And meanwhile we can run the GoBuster scan. I have already run the GoBuster scan on this using the medium directory list, and we have got a bunch of information and images, uploads, PHP, CSS, dev and JS. So let's see what it contains. So it's a development website. So now let's go to some images. So we have got a bunch of images and there is no any juicy information. So after that, uploads. So let's go to uploads, and you can see we can't see any other content, and go to the PHP. So okay, let's this is the home page of this website, and you can click on this PHP bash. So it redirects to single.html. So PHP bash helps a lot with the pen testing. I have tested it on multiple different servers and it is very useful. So this is the normal bash shell. You can execute the commands here. So okay, that's about this PHP bash. In the PHP we have sendmail.php. Of course we cannot see the content. So now let's go to CSS. We know CSS files and JavaScript files. The interesting thing is the development environment. So let's go to dev, and you can see there is a PHP bash.php. So you can see this is the shell. So let's say who am I, and this is www data. So okay, and this is not a root shell. So now what we need to do is we need to get the reverse shell. So I'm using the PHP reverse shell. We can copy from the pentest monkey. I'm sorry, why I'm using the reverse shell. I'm so sorry. So we can just use the netcat reverse shell. Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm thinking another box. Sorry. Okay. So let me start the listener on this, and 1 2 3 4. So we are listening on, and what we need to do is we need to first let's check the netcat version is did not work because I will show you nc -c. So that is the OpenBSD package of the netcat. So that's why there is no option E. They have removed the option. The traditional package contains the E. So that means we cannot use the netcat for the reverse shell connections. So what we can do is we can search for Python. Which Python? So the Python 2 version has been installed successfully. Okay, now I have already downloaded this from the pentest monkey. So simply copy this. I have changed the IP address and the port number. Okay, now instead of 4, let's listen to 6. So let me paste it in here and hit enter. Now you will get the shell. Okay, so let's say ls. So see there is any other files. Let's go to the previous directory and say ls. So one important file is config.php. Let's view the contents of this. Okay, there is only one variable email, so that means it's not very much information. Okay, now I have run this linp script. Let's say ls. Okay, it has been removed, no problem, we will upload again. And what I have found is, if you list the permissions of this user, if there are any special root permissions, and you can see here this user www.data can run this user's binaries with no password or binaries. So you can see if script manager user have the a binary, say simple example binary, so that binary can be run by our www data. Okay, now let's go to the cd home and let's say ls. So there are two users, rxl and script manager, and we can go to rxl and view the user flag. So that is user flag, and this is script manager. We can run any binary that is owned by the script manager with no password. So that means we can run bin bash with the privileges of script manager. So one way you can do is sudo -u, specify the username. So script manager, and what you want to do is we want to run the bin bash as a part of the script manager privileges using the sudo. Now it will not ask for the password. Now hit enter. Now you can see the username changed to script manager. Type who am I. Okay, so we have successfully escalated to script manager, but we need to escalate to the root user, right? So okay, now what we can do is we can host the linp script. Okay, it's hosting. So back to our shell, we can go to the temp directory. Let's say ls. Okay, now what we can do is say wget and IP address column port number /linpiece.sh and hit enter. Okay, let's say ls, and you can see there is the linpiece.sh. Let's say we need to give the executable permission, and now we can run the linpiece. Sudo version 1.8. So if you scroll up, you can see there is a cron job running on the folder scripts with the root permission. So it is somewhat up, but here down you will get the unusual directories. So you will see here. So you can see unexpected intrude scripts. So there is a some interesting folder. So now what we can do is we can go to scripts, and if you can store the output, and you can see there is a process of the cron job running on the contents of the scripts folder. Let's say ls. So we have the test.py, test.txt. So okay, let's say cat test.py to see the contents of this Python script. So it's opening this file in write mode. So that means if this file did not exist, this will create a new file. That is what meaning of the write mode, and it is writing this testing123 and then it is closing. Okay, that's fine. Cat test.txt. Now you can see the contents are testing123. Okay, now something is running the script. Let's say python 3 test.py. So permission denied for this test.txt. We can say ls minus la, and the test.txt has been owned by the root user. So that means this script must be run by the root privileges, because then only it could open this file in the write mode and write the content. So that means there is some cron job running on this python script to create this text file. So now what we can do is, let's rename this file test.txt to test.txt.bak, backup file. Now hit enter. Now let's say ls. So there is only one backup file and python script file. Okay, now let's say ls. Okay, it takes time to create this text file. Okay, now so you can see there is a text.txt. So that means whenever we rename this text file to something, the cron job is running for every minute, I think so, and it is checking for the contents of this folder, and if there is no test.txt, it is running this python script. So that means we can edit this python script and we can rename this. So whenever the cron job has been run this script, we get the reversal. So let me, okay, you need to only copy this line. Okay, don't copy this python c. So copy only under the single quotes import socket to this bin bash, and sorry, port number, right? So what we can do is we can paste here and change the port number to 1234. So let's copy this, and now what we can do is we can say echo and paste the contents here and say greater than test.py. So we are appending the contents to this python script and hit enter. So now let's go and view our python script, and you can see there is the this python code appended. So that's nice, and we can go on listening on 1234 port. Okay, now all we need to do is we need to say ls and then move this, rename this test.txt to test.txt, say .1, and hit enter. Now let's say ls. So we need to wait for the cron job to be run. So ls, it takes 1 minute. Okay, I have found this error. I'm sorry for this. So okay, it's better to edit in this. So let's edit the port. So in cherry tree, so this line has been created like a new line, so that's why we got the problem. So now let's simply only paste this command and start the listener. Now what we can do is we can override the contents. So greater than test.py and hit enter. So now we can say cat test.py and let's say ls. So there is test.py, and okay, let's try to run the script for any errors. As you guys can see now, after 1 minute the Python script has been executed by the cron job that has the root privileges. So you can see we got the root shell. Who am I? So root. So now we can grab the root flag, and also you can view the cron job using the cron tab list. So you can see here for every minute it's running, and in the scripts folder, for every Python script it's running Python script. So that means it's running for every minute. It does not matter if there is a test.txt file or something. Okay, it's just running the Python script. So that's why we got the root shell.